Al giving me shoulder.
Soda, baby. I'm leaning back.
Right. Profile. There you go. Profile, profiling. My man, Big Al. That's the Deacon down there. We are once again the OGs of the DMV, and this is the show. For those of you who are just joining us, we want to thank all the new subscribers who've come on and joined us, and just to have fun as we talk all things DMV sports. But specifically tonight, we're going to talk Commanders and its new rise from the ashes. And so we got a great show for you. But before we get started, you know what we always do. Let's hit it one time, fellas. Let's get it.
You don't know. Yeah. You don't know who you messing with. You don't know who you messing with. You don't know. You don't. I run you up and down the Serengeti. Heads ain't ready. I chew you up and spit you out like chicken confetti. My rhymes are heavy like elephants, stomping your regiments, dismembering all your limbs, ripping your ligaments. I break you down to an atom, change your chemical structure, roots and culture. You don't wanna fuck with this brother. I'm like a time bomb over a fresh can of Wilshire. Stylus plexiglass got you face down in the grass, ready to blast. Sticky for your jewels and your cash. Call me Robin Hood. Take the loot back to the hood. I wish you would try to retaliate. I wait like a sniper, beat you like Street Fighter, heat you up like a lighter. Don't need no Ghost Rider. Original skill, killing at will. Terminates career like the pill. This is real, not no fiction. Came up for my jurisdiction. I'm liver than you, whether freestyle or written. Hitting hard like a hammer, like a natural disaster, like a hurricane. Plain and simple, bringing the pain. Won the battle. What? I'm ready to do this. Beat your ass like Lennox Lewis. Play you out like Parker Lewis. You
all right, okay, we're back. We are back. YouTube has allowed us to stay on here one more time. It is always good for us because you know our history. You never know when you hit that button and emojis is gone. But this time we still hold on. And with that being said, today we're going to get some intel on the Commanders, and we got a gentleman who's excited about the Commanders' prospects. This guy is really looking at us from a different lens, not just the bottle, but potential. We're going to bring on my main man, your main man, Mr.
Will Upton. What's going on, man?
What's up? Get the first name wrong, Will. I was like,
thanks for having me.
Johnny Stevens. No.
What's going on, Mr. Will?
Will Upton in now.
Will.
Absolutely.
We see you're a Green Bay fan because you're coming from a Green Bay perspective, right? You're going to look at us from a Green Bay perspective. Tell us about what you see in our Commanders from a Green Bay perspective.
Well, I love it. I absolutely love it. You got the second pick in the draft in the loaded quarterback, top-heavy class. You're going to have, I mean, I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about Sam Howell and the second pick in the draft, but you got Cliff Kingsbury, you got Dan Quinn, you got a nice DC. I think that the coaching staff that they brought on in the last couple of weeks here, I think they're building something special, and I think they're going to be the Houston Texans if they can get that QB right.
What did he say?
The coaching staff that they brought on in the last couple of weeks here, I think they're building something special, and I think they're going to be the Houston Texans if they can get that QB right.
So what's your best? I mean, obviously, I don't think we're going to get Caleb Williams. I think Chicago's going to be crazy to get rid of their first round pick for whatever and keep what they got. So you're looking at either Jaden Daniels or Drake Maye. Now, we're mostly Drake Daniels, Jaden Daniels, but Drake Maye is more the prototypical type of quarterback, big, strong arm. They say you got problems anticipating, but that's something that you can learn. And you said you want to know what we got about Sam Howell. Yeah. Do you want two North Carolina quarterbacks in the same room? You know, that's the problem, man. It may be bad, a bad look for him because he's coming out of North Carolina, so we give him kind of because he didn't play against a certain amount of talent like Jaden Daniels did in the SEC. But just the fact of drafting two North Carolina quarterbacks in a row, that hurts my stomach, man.
Yeah, I think Sam Howell's a beast. I'm sure Drake Maye will be a perfectly fine quarterback, but I agree. I think the Chicago Bears. I think there's no way that they don't draft Caleb Williams, but if they don't, they're gonna need an arm and a leg. So I'm going Jaden Daniels every day of the week. I mean, no questions.
Mhm.
That dude, he's got the swagger. I think he's got the it factor. SEC, I think you can't really go wrong drafting an SEC player. But I think Jaden Daniels with Cliff Kingsbury, Scary Terry, I mean, they could light it up.
I like what he said now, gentlemen. I'm not going to let it slide. He said Sam Howell is a what?
A beast. I heard
A
it.
beast.
He said, why do you say that?
Yeah, how'd you get that?
He's
Maybe
got a
because
grittiness to him.
His what?
He's got a grittiness to him. I just like his attitude.
He's got that moxie.
Moxie.
So I do think he got the short end of the stick no matter. I mean, I don't know if you guys think there's any way, shape, or form Washington, I mean, maybe trades back a couple of picks, goes in a different direction. But unfortunately for Sam, I think he definitely got the short end of the stick. And then, with the enemy, that kind of got figured out about halfway through the season. So, but I think Sam Howell, backup QB, great backup QB to have, just unfortunate for him.
Yeah. Now, it's funny you said that because it was rumored that Fields actually stopped following his team on one of those social media things, man. That seems to be the thing the young fellas like to do. They unfollow people. I understand CeeDee Lamb unfollowed the Cowboys today. So everybody's unfollowing this thing. Saying something without saying something. What you think about that? Maybe he heard something. Maybe they are going to grab the guy.
No, they did. They said that once the Chicago Bears said that they were going to draft the quarterback, that the next day he
So you
follow
heard the news.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. And as far as Sam is concerned, he did get short end of the stick with the enemy. I mean, we thought it was going to be totally different than what it was. I mean, the man didn't have any run packages in his offense. And I think he might have just got punch drunk at some point after all of the sacks, the constant throwing. I mean, his arm probably, went limp at some point because of the long season, being long in the college. It's basically his first season. So I like Sam. Al loves Sam. That's his man. He wants to go with Sam this year.
Not gonna happen. No, not gonna happen.
I think we should just go ahead. I think we should just go ahead and draft the quarterback. But because the thing is, when you at number 2, your thought process is to never be at number 2 again. So if you don't take a quarterback now, you don't want to be caught in the position of having pick 17 and having to trade up to number 2 because your quarterback stinks now. Your team's good, but your quarterback stinks. Now you do all your draft capital to get to number 2. Then you had to wait for the rookie to get up to par in the NFL. And by that time, you done lost 4 or 5 players off the defense, 2 off the offensive line. Now you got to restructure again. You just go ahead and get your quarterback right. That's a position you keep for 14 years if you're good. Go that way. That's my man. I mean, Al may think, Al thinks different, but whatever.
Well, first of all, do I see a Christmas tree behind you?
It is a Christmas tree. Oh yeah.
I was that Christmas tree?
Oh yeah.
Early
So
for
Green
you.
Bay, y'all
Got the spirit.
got the spirit still going on. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, Christmas forever. I got you. But my question is, I'm not. I love Sam Howell, but I don't think he's a starting quarterback. I think he's a backup quarterback in the NFL. Maybe he can get you 4 or 5 good games. He's a step better than we had a guy named Heineke here some years ago. And to me, he's just a little bit better than Heineke. Drake Maye trains with Sam Howell. I don't know if you know that. They went to North Carolina. They trained in North Carolina together. Drake Maye is a 6'5", 215 pound, 220 pound man that has a gun that can throw a hollister. He has a strong arm. He's like Deacon said earlier, Drake Maye is a typical, we like to see a quarterback. He also can run too. Drake can give you, got a little speed to him. He'll give it to you a little bit. And he's no he's no young man for LSU. He's nowhere near Jaden Daniels, but he can run some. I am Jaden Daniels. I think number 2 pick. You draft one not only on what do you have, but what potential. And I think Jaden Daniels has the more potential, even though I believe he's 23 or 24. I think he's a little bit older quarterback coming out of college. My concern, and I want to know, is that your concern too, is that the 200 or the 195 and 6'4" weight issue, because we had a number 1 pick last year that had a slim issue too, a cornerback that did not work out for us. And now we're going to draft a quarterback. It's a possibility we're going to draft another number 1 pick that tends to not to like the pasta. Tends to not to like the mashed potatoes. You know what I'm saying? They're veggie eaters or whatever. I don't know. But they seem a little light. So are you concerned about the injury factor in Jaden Daniels?
I mean, I definitely get that. I just think there's too many. I mean, I don't know why Kyler Murray just came to my mind when you were saying that, but who's got injured eventually. But I think he can put on some weight, just steak and eggs diet. I'm not too worried about the injury concern with Jaden Daniels. But I mean, once again, I think Drake Maye is really talented. I think he'd be perfectly fine pick number 2, but I guess I'm more of a gambler. I like to go bigger, go home, and I just think Jaden's got that. I feel like he almost has he's got that it factor, like something you just can't teach. He just sees the field a little bit differently, where he just makes plays. Like this dude just makes plays, and not a rag on Drake Maye. I just think Jaden Daniels. I know the weight's a concern for some people, but not me, I guess.
He's more of a dual threat. I think that's what everybody wants to say. He has that thing. If you can get a quarterback with legs and has a quarterback IQ to know when to tuck it and go without somebody having to tell him. Seem like because even with my man Heineke, one of the things that we will always tease him on, we were like, he's so short he can't see over the line. But just go. Instead of you sitting there and just waiting to get pounded by the 4 guys, because there was no offensive protection. So everybody's going to hit you. Instead of just doing that, just go, and he never would. He was like, there were times where it was like, okay, we need this first down. It's right there. It's 3 yards away from you. You're the fastest guy between that tackle and that linebacker, man. Go. And he wouldn't. Yeah. Got to get a guy who's willing and not afraid to do that. Yeah. You don't want a guy coming out, and I'm surprised that he's still top 5, which is Penix, who stays broken up to me. You know what I'm saying? I just see him. Every time I see him, he's doing the pressing. He's limping. You know what I'm saying? Something's hurt. He's like, I just say he's going to be classic on sitting on the sideline, hurt up kind of quarterback with a lot of money. A lot of money. But
there's a hell of an arm talent, though. I don't know if you've seen him throw the ball. That boy can get an arm talent, though.
I know that, but he ain't no good throwing from the sideline. You got to be on the field. And we've had that happen, so I need you on the field 24/7, 365, and practicing after that. So
I just want all y'all to know the man is 23, 24. I'm sure they try to put him on the steak and egg diet in the past. He's just a small guy.
He's been that way all his life, man.
Right.
So
he's a thin guy. You know what I'm saying?
But he's never been hurt.
That's true. He's
never been hurt. So you got to go with that.
That's what they said about our boy, and he got hurt.
RG?
No.
Who?
JJ.
Oh, yeah.
Emmanuel Forbes.
College.
You're talking about Forbes.
Yeah.
Forbes
I'm sorry, we give nicknames on here.
Yeah. Sometimes I gotta explain the nickname sometimes. Hey, so let me ask you this, because you seem like you were more excited about the coaching staff than you are the actual team itself, man. What excites you about Cliff Kingsbury?
I love Cliff. I have a Raiders channel as well, and I was thrilled they were about to land Cliff Kingsbury, and obviously that fell through, and so Washington get him. I think Cliff is just a much better. I think he's a great offensive mind. I think what he did with Arizona, I remember like watching Kyler play in the playoffs in college football, and everyone was worried about how that would translate to the league. And he got this team. I mean, he got Kyler looking like a beast out there. He got them into the playoffs. I think he's just a much better offensive mind because I'm sure being a head coach, there's a ton of moving parts out there. So I think Cliff, especially as a college football player, like that dude lit it up in college as a player. So I think he's just, no matter what quarterback is in that room, I think there's something about him being as a player as well, coaching with all these different quarterbacks as well. I just love. I think he's a just genius offensive mind. I think he's up there with your McDaniels, your McVays, as far as just offensive minds go. And whatever quarterback they go with, I feel comfortable with Cliff Kingsbury being that OC. And when he went to Washington, Dan Quinn, I like it a lot. I think they're bringing in a lot of experience. Dan Quinn's got that experience as well. I think that's just going to translate to the youngness of this team. So Cliff Kingsbury, that's why I think Jaden Daniels is perfect, because I think they can get some really big time plays. I get, Washington's got some holes they got to clean up as well, but kind of going to what I was saying with Houston, I'll let the management pick those players. I want my offense to become my defense, and I just think it's an offensive-driven league. Mm-hmm. I'll go back to KC a couple of years ago. People were worried. When I first started covering football, people were very worried about that youthfulness on the Kansas City Chiefs a year and a half ago. And now they're top 5 defense in the league. So I'm just so focused on the offense becoming defense. And with Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels, or even Drake Maye, or maybe even Caleb Williams, or even Sam Howell, I think they've got great.
Whoever the quarterback is, right?
Yeah.
Now, our defensive coordinator was y'all passing game coordinator for Green Bay for a number of years before he went to Atlanta and then Cowboys. He supposedly be a turnover genius. Do you remember when he was in Green Bay, and was that a factor for y'all guys when he was playing? He was your defensive passing coordinator back then. Do you have a play for him at all? Our defensive coordinator?
No, I don't. I was more of a just casual football. I still am just more of a casual football fan. I'm 5'9", 160. I just enjoy football. So no, but what he's saying in these, the introductory, I love everything that's coming out of his mouth. I think he's going to get these guys hitting hard, forcing turnovers.
You mean to tell me you're going to let that mush you down now like that, and you ain't breaking that bitch's face right now? You mean to tell me you're going to allow that to do what she done, and you didn't come out here and try to break her neck, and even you can't find her teammate and break her neck for what the she done to you down there? You mean to tell me you ain't got that kind of evil streak in you? I would literally hike the ball and punch that bitch in the damn face. Are you crazy? Don't ever let anybody do you like that.
Here in DC, we wanted the offensive-minded Bob Johnson, right? His name is Bob Johnson. I forgot the dude's name already.
Ben Johnson?
Ben Johnson, yeah. We wanted Ben Johnson so bad that when they hired Dan Quinn, it was kind of a letdown. That's just But we may have dodged the bullet, and I say that in this factor. You can tell already that Dan Quinn knows how to put a staff together. So it's more than just the head coach; it's the staff that you put together. Now, will we be able to have all these guys come to Washington if Ben Johnson was the head coach? Does he not have put that kind of staff together? Because right now, if you're just looking at the staff, you're talking about some heavy hitters on our staff, offense and defense. And, OG Bobby Johnson, not really sure about, but everybody else is really accomplished in what they've done. Yeah. So, as a unit, we may not have wanted to see a cowboy come to Washington and, run our team. But we may have dodged the bullet as far as staffing is concerned, because he is obviously. It's like they always say, don't burn your bridges, and it's all about who you know. This dude's been around; he knows a lot of people, and obviously they like him, and they are willing to come and be with him in Washington.
Washington,
yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah.
in
So
Washington.
yeah. So that may have dodged the bullet in that aspect.
Well, also, I heard today they were talking about we have coaches from every team in our division. We have coaches from the Giants, coaches from Philly, and coaches from the Cowboys. Every team in our division. So that is a plus for us because they have a little more inside track on what the philosophy of all our people in our division.
They probably looking at us like this
Bobby
is
Johnson. We got the Philadelphia old offensive coordinator is our assistant coach. We got a couple of things going on for us as far as intel on our division rivals. Okay.
And let's not forget the secret weapon, Mr. Adam Peters, a general manager who was hanging out with them 49ers for 7+ years. That is where I think I rest my comfort on, is that we're going to get some talent in here.
That boy is good.
Real talent. Some individuals who are going to get out here and play. Not potential. Not, there was this guy who was the cousin of the sister's brother coach, and now he's on our squad starting. No, we're going to get some talent for those coaches to coach up. So that's exciting to me.
Yeah. So, Will, have you looked at the free agent market this year at all for your team and just out there in general?
Yeah, unfortunately, my Packers aren't much of free agency spenders, but
you feel right about that.
Real quick about the coaching. I remember in my last Commanders video, this is just not the actual statistic. I wish I had it, but it was like 15 years of Super Bowl wins on the coaching staff now, and like 185 years or something around that number of experience playing and or coaching in the league. And like with a guy like Ben Johnson, I think when these teams see, your Mike McDaniels or your Sean McVays or, even Canales over in Tampa Bay, you want them, you have to bring him in as a head coach just so you can like retain him. So, if you bring in Ben Johnson as offensive coordinator, you could lose him in a year, if he kills it. But as far as the head coach goes, Dan Quinn's just got so much experience. So I love the coaching staffs he's built up. But free agency, I think this is where Adam Peters really gets to work here. And that's where I love his experience with San Francisco and that winning pedigree that they have. And that's got to translate over. I hate to keep mentioning Houston, but I remember making Texans videos in this past summer, and they're picking up these Devin Singletaries, they're picking up these Dalton Schultz, they're picking up these sleeper veterans, and most people had that team winning like 5 or 6 football games, and they're hitting on a lot of these free agent signings. So I think Adam Peters, with what his experience has, I think just drafts and free agency, I mean, you can, if you hit on 5, 6 draft picks, 5, 6 free agent signings, I mean, it changes everything. And you'll see guys like my Packers, Devondre Campbell a couple of years ago. You have these free agents come on over, and they not emerge from platoon players to borderline star level players. So free agency, they got a unbelievable amount of money. And I am very curious to see how he decides to spend that. And you'll probably see a lot of, kind of 1-year prove-it deals with these veterans, bring in with a young squad. Free agency should be very, very fun for Washington.
It'll be interesting, that's for sure. Hey, before we move on, everybody go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. We appreciate when people do that. Now it takes about a second, bing, hit the bell, all that stuff. Hit the thumbs, all that stuff. Hey, we speak with Will Upton. They go to his channel as well. He got 9,000 subscribers already. So, 62,000. I'm way off. Yeah, about 62,000.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So, I done shortchanged the man. Hey, before we go into the combine, we want to talk to you about the combine. Let me give you one scenario here. I see you got the quarterback for the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, saying that his best move would be, or let me see, a changing move would be for him to go to the Las Vegas Raiders, right? What if we do this? What if we keep our number 2 pick? And I'm going to repeat this, guys, so I know y'all heard this before. Keep our number 2 pick, or we could trade it for more picks, or whatever. But we're going to keep that pick and do whatever, but we're not going to pick a quarterback. We're going to trade for Justin Fields with our number 2 pick in our second round. We got the 36th and the 40th pick, I think. Either one of them picks is high for Justin Fields. Take one. We got another couple picks in third round. We got a couple picks in fourth round. We would have a quarterback plus maybe Marvin Harrison if you want to pick number 2. Or we would have more draft picks traded back because we're not getting a quarterback and get more linemen. What do you think about that? Taking Justin Fields with our second round pick, keeping our first round pick and doing whatever we want with that and not losing it, as opposed to trading our second round pick, maybe move up for Caleb Williams, who, I mean, you know, this draft is such a crapshoot, man. You don't know who's going to translate to the NFL with what.
I hate it. I think it's. I would lose all hope. I don't like that at all. I think maybe. I'm all set. I don't like it at all. I like Justin Fields as a player. You know, I know a couple of buddies who are friends with him from the Chicagoland area, but
he hated Deacon. He hates it.
Hey, listen, he lives in Chicago. I'm just trying to
there you go again.
Hometown stuff.
It's a no for me. Yeah.
Is that because you've seen him play and you've seen him over and over again, or it's just that you don't think he fits with the Kingsbury offense?
No matter how many kits you put on it, it's still a Honda.
Hey, listen, dude put a spoiler on his Crocs yesterday. So
hold on his Crocs all day. His Crocs.
I do like him with Cliff Kingsbury. I think you could put a lot of quarterbacks with Cliff Kingsbury and he'll get the most out of them. But no, I mean, I think Justin, tough. You know, I was at that Packers-Bears game week 1. I remember saying to my buddy, like, this dude looks like Aaron Rodgers here when he drops back. And I never particularly felt like the Luke Getsy, Justin Fields scheme fit was there. Justin Fields doesn't really get the ball out of his hands all too quickly. And that's, you know, kind of Luke's MO. That number 2 pick, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake Maye, I
gotta take it.
It just seems like a home run hit over Justin Fields, and not a knock on JF1. I actually think, I think Caleb will be a Bear, but I wouldn't be surprised with Chicago's ownership and their regime, their previous track record if they kept them.
I gave it a shot, Justin.
Well, I'm gonna say this though, Justin. My issue with Justin is that he's up for contract in another year, so he's up for big money, and he just has not proven to be a $40 million, which that's what quarterbacks get. Number 1 pick quarterbacks get is $40 million a year. He just not at that level yet, Deacon. So that's why I wasn't. And you know, we could franchise him. That's still $30 million. We franchise him. So I'm just,
discount.
you know, I don't know. You might just go ahead and just get. You know, if you're gonna do that, you might as well get Kirk Cousins back. Bring back Kirk. Bring back Kirk. You like that? You know, bring him back. You know what I'm saying? But
I think if they were more of a team loaded with weapons, not that Terry and Jahan can get that job done, and the running back room, I like the running back room, but you know, if they were more of like a Pittsburgh Steelers with DJ and Pat and Pickens, an elite level defense, just a little bit more ahead of, not to rag on Washington, but you know, you pick up his 5th-year option.
We are.
But they are who we thought they were.
Yeah, you'd have to pick up Justin's 5th-year option, and it just seems a little too quick. But yeah, no,
that's my thing. How about this? Propose this though. How about this? What if we trade next year's number 1, this year one of our number 2 picks, and a player to move up to Chicago, 1 pick up, to get the best quarterback in the draft?
What? A
I
number
don't think
one?
that'll get it done.
Next year, our number one this year. Next year's number one. One of our number two pick, and a player.
So two number ones are two and John Allen.
Say John Allen, yep. To move up to get the number one pick this year.
But do the Bears really want all of our linemen? They already took one.
Hey, the Bears will get one of the other quarterbacks plus half a team. They'll be very competitive with that.
One of the other quarterbacks. That's what we got. We trying to give them work. Go ahead. What do you think?
What do you think? I'm just proposing trades here.
I think Jonathan Allen's a future Packer, but I think if the Bears do decide to trade, a lot of it's going to depend on what other teams are offering. If that,
I just offered a hell of a trade though. That for Chicago.
I don't think that's a generational haul. If that's what they're,
you're only going up one pick though. I mean, it's not like you're going for 15-1. It's one spot.
Yeah.
You get next year's number one. Most likely, we're not going to be that good next year. There's a high chance we're not going to be that good, right?
Chances are.
So you're going to get a high number one pick next year, plus one of our number twos.
Yeah, but they're still not going to have a quarterback. Oh, that's right. You get number two quarterback.
They can get one of the.
You get the second best quarterback. Yeah. They want the second best quarterback for sure.
I mean, they might like all three of the quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's not too crazy. But I don't think it'll. But if that deal's on the table, you know what? Caleb Williams back in DC with Cliff Kingsbury, I wouldn't mind that one bit.
Hey.
So. Yeah, we had a tough time with hometown people though.
Oh yeah,
we really had we just traded one away. One of them passed away. Yeah, they got a lot of bad history.
A couple years ago, we didn't take a quarterback. We had Justin Herbert on the table for us.
There you go with Justin Herbert again.
And we picked a guy that liked to wear booty shorts. And you picked a guy that liked to wear booty shorts and tank tops.
You're talking about Chase
Young. He's from my hometown.
2 sacks in the Super Bowl, and
he did get 2 sacks in the Super Bowl though. He didn't play in the Super Bowl. He did.
Hey, look, he did it right when he needed to do it.
Let's move on to the combine, fellas. So it's obviously we're looking for a quarterback out of number one pick, but we need some linemen. That's a definite need in our line. I mean, the offensive line, defensive line is where it all starts. What would be preferable to get a lineman in the draft, or I think preferably get one in the free agency, but. There are linemen in the draft, but it's not a very, very deep line, offensive tackle, guard, draft, I don't think. You get more wide receivers, and the edges are tight right now. You don't have many edges. So will we be picking, 40? Do you get a good lineman, a starting lineman at 40? It's second round, early second round, but not being that many on the draft board at this point. You're talking about really taking a flyer at one of these guys, unless they fall, which they can. If we get a run on wide receivers, then people fall. So what you looking for in the combine to see more wide receivers, or because I don't think the quarterbacks don't even throw. Most of them wait till their pro day.
I think my big 3 position groups for Washington, I guess, would be definitely that guard spot. Linemen, I think linebacker. I think they'll free agency more so. The thing with offensive tackles and offensive guards and just offensive linemen in general, I think a lot of it is coaching. And, even from my Packers, I've had a good offensive line my whole life. And it feels like they just spawn them through the draft. It doesn't matter the round. It doesn't matter the pick. So I think it just comes down to what they see at that pick. Definitely need a guard, but
we definitely need it. Anybody on the line, man. I would choose a tackle, and if you can't play tackle, then you just move him down the guard, man.
Yeah.
So he keeps talking free agency, gentlemen. I noticed that. I noticed that somebody who watches a whole other organization talk free agency, and we tend to just shy away from that here. We got all the money in the world, man, and for whatever reason, for the last couple years, now we burnt it all down officially. We not only brushed the ashes off, we got the vacuum and vacuumed up the extra. So I can't really say what is going to happen, but boy, you talking about some guys that have been watching this team for a long time, man. And it's been a very long time since Dan Snyder's first year when he came in and he went and got the all-stars of free agents, just spent all his money, Bruce Smith, Deion Sanders. I think his best one was, didn't we get Trotter then? Or was Trotter already playing with us?
No, I think Trotter was already playing, but we got didn't he trade for the running back?
I forgot. I know we got Mark Carrier. We got a whole bunch of.
We got
Danny Stillfield's our number one.
That hurt.
Our best free agent was, what's the big guy that laid down the field? I can't think of his name.
That's what you just said it. Stubblefield, right?
Stubblefield. Yeah. No, what Stubblefield was the other one that laid down. It was just rolling around. Yeah. He would take 2 steps and then fall down. Remember that guy?
Stubblefield. That was Stubblefield, right?
I thought it was Stubblefield.
No, I know what he's talking about. No,
it wasn't Stubblefield. It was another big guy like that. Though. He was
we old. We want Prevagen right.
Memory's gone, man.
To get the memories back.
Go below us.
But free agency, the reason why we haven't done a whole bunch of free agency because it happened in the past as Hainsworth was the guy. Yeah, it burnt us. So we're a little leery about that. And I heard what you say, basically, offensive line, you feel like it's more coaching than anything else. You can get them in any round. It's just having comparable coaching on the front line and a scheme that fits the players that you have. You can't just throw every down with the players. You just can't throw every down. It depends on who you have. Unfortunately, you can. Well, you can, but
he tried.
We tried it last year, but we're gonna lose. So you feel like it's coaching, and you think the best bet free agency wise, your recommendation more so is getting inside linebacker from free agency and then try to draft a lineman.
I would definitely keep drafting some linemen offensively. I mean, you got your Sewells, like a first round pick on an offensive lineman always feels very underwhelming. And then 3 years down the road, they're a star tackle, star guard.
Right.
I would do a little bit of both, man. They got so much money in free agency. You got to win in the trenches, offensively and defensively. Yeah. And that's what they got to target that, whether it's through the draft, free agency, whatever it is. But I would do both. That's for sure. I'm curious what that defensive edges are going to be. It's not a good defensive edge draft, as you were just saying, at all, outside of, maybe a couple of players. So, get rid of Chase Young, get rid of Montez Sweat. I'm curious what they're going to decide to do. I know like Daniil Hunter's a big guy out there right now. A lot of teams want him, but you got to win in the trenches. But I think a lot of it's just going to come down to drafting as well as the coaching. I mean, it's all got to be cohesive and it's all got to fit. So,
yeah, you got to know what's in the draft before you go into the free agency. I mean,
yeah,
if you see that the draft doesn't have a lot of edge rushers, you got to go get you one. As opposed to waiting to see if you can draft one. So, main position for me, I would get in free agency would be either a linebacker, Mike linebacker, an edge rusher, or a safety. Right now, we got too many corners. We got to figure out what we got. These guys are, and we're coming in with a whole new defense and a whole new offensive scheme. So we got to figure out whether these guys fit that scheme or not before we start drafting players, and we don't know what the scheme is. So, the guys we got might fit the scheme better than they did last year, because he wanted to play violent. And we got number 22, Derek Forrest, who comes up and hit. Quan Martin hits. Jamin Davis, I believe, can hit if they put him in the right position. So we just got to figure out what's going on. Man. They have a big job because you almost start from scratch with this team. with the amount of players that we have under contract and the amount of money we have to spend in free agency as well. So it's going to be a big undergoing this year. And they got to start right now. I mean, free agency starts March 13th or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's
so.
Well, I'll tell you what just happened right now, and I got this from shout out to my man Big Ed Oliver. Man, what's going on? We just re-signed wide receiver Cashmere Allen. Hey.
That's a camp body, baby. That's a camp body.
And guard Mason Brooks.
Oh, we rolling now, baby.
Let's go.
So
the
day is the first day you can re-sign your in-house players?
I don't know. Apparently so. I don't know. At least they're doing something, though. At least we know
when does the Underwear Olympics start?
That starts on Thursday, next week, 29th. Yeah, so
and the Underwear Olympics is combine.
Yeah.
Just so you know what we're talking about.
Hey, we're gonna get you out of here, man. We appreciate you coming on.
I got a quick thank you for having me. Thank you very much. I got a quick question for you guys on Antoine Winfield, because I think that fits exactly what they're looking for. Dude who is not afraid of contact, a dude who's just born to make plays. You're gonna have to spend an arm and a leg to get him.
In the free agency, right? He's the number one.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay for him.
Yeah, you gotta pay for him. But we're not paying Cam Curl $17 million. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, future Packer.
So I definitely would take him. Sure. At this point, man, I just want to fill the team up. Let me see what you got, and let's roll with it. Because right now we have a bunch of players that think they're good and want the money, but they were on a losing team and didn't contribute to a winning team. So you can't tell me that those guys are worth what they want when I didn't see it on the field. Don't tell me it was coaching. People can overcome coaching, and people can be made better by coaching. But if I don't see it, you can't just take my money for potential. So I think we're going to lose some players. I think we're going to retain some players because of money. And it's just going to have to be what it is, man. I would take that guy, yes. Bring him on over here. Let him go, and we'll take him.
Hey, so they was talking about Pollard coming to Washington.
I don't want Pollard.
No?
Nah. I can't take so many Cowboys. I can't take so many Cowboys, man. Nah.
Hey,
come on, man. Make my stomach hurt. You might as well go ahead and keep AG.
You guys' stomach won't hurt when Deion came over.
Yeah, but he had played for like 6 teams.
You got
don't matter.
He was a high guy.
Ex-Redskin on your team. How's Smith doing for y'all, man? He was actual Redskin too.
Preston Smith.
Preston Smith.
I love Preston Smith. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
getting a little old. We're gonna have
to
fill out that replacement one day. But Preston Smith, oh yeah, dude's a beast. I love it.
We good at training folk up and letting them go. That's for sure.
We kick them out.
we train them up.
They come back and they get all their stats on.
Right. Our whole staff is a training staff, baby. And we'll let people know where you can find you, man, your website and all that stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, you check out Will Upton on YouTube. I got a ton of Commander stuff coming this offseason. I'm very excited.
He promised 2 a week.
Yeah, it's good. We're at that point in the offseason right now where it's all, we got that combine coming up. It's all hypothetical and it just feels rather gimmicky. So I'm excited for free agency to begin here, but I will say this to all the Commanders fans watching this, man. I think you get the quarterback and everything else fall in place. So I'm excited for Jaden Daniel future, unless the Raiders come in and snag him, if Washington
we would have to trade out
to pass on him, because I remember this time last year hearing Anthony Richardson's a 2nd-round quarterback and all this buffoonery, and AR ends up going. AR unfortunately he's injured, but AR is gonna be a stud. But I keep seeing a lot of I got my Raiders channel. I keep seeing a lot of Jaden Daniels falling. People are worried about the size. People are worried about the weight. And I think he's a future commander. So you get that QB right, everything else will fall in place. But thank you guys so much for having me.
Hey, well, hold on 1 second. Got
man.
Got one thing for you to do.
Choose your
I'm
fight.
like, what is he doing? All right.
Come on.
This is our thing, but okay, I'll take it around today.
This is your intro.
So this is an ongoing debate from all guests who come on, and those of you who watch the show know if you a guest that comes on, you got to do this. This tells a lot about your, not just your martial arts acumen, but just to know who you really are as a person. We grew up watching TV, man. We didn't have all the social media, man. So this means a lot to us. So get ready, sir. Mr. Upton, you got to choose your team of 3.
There's one.
You got to choose 3. Now, here's the kicker. There's one if you choose it. We're going to have to question everything that you said tonight. But anyway, take your time. Young guy, I know some of these guys you might not recognize.
Majority.
So now you gotta point in your skill of analyzing these guys here. I know you know a couple of them.
Yep.
So, but you're gonna need to choose 3 to protect you, to be on your side.
Stay away from the landmine.
I'm worried. I'm worried my first pick is the landmine. I'm gonna assume it is. I'm gonna go 183.
Wow, he did that fast. 183.
Okay, well you didn't hit the landmine. 183.
Who's the landmine?
That's a new one. I don't think
he's right about 8 now.
Right.
And 1.
And 1.
I like 1. I like 1.
One is the standard.
Hey, but we had a couple guys come on here, sir, that didn't even look at 1. I was like, what? I think we canceled them too. If you don't choose 1, you be gone. You just get it.
Hey, number 5 was your best choice. You missed out on number 5.
5 was the landmine.
5 was borderline for me.
That was the landmine.
You missed out on 5.
5's the landmine?
Don't ever choose 5.
5's the landmine.
That's the landmine?
Yeah, well, it's arguable, and we got to the end. See, I wasn't ready. I would have segued this in here, man. But 5 is we everybody on here. Now, don't get me wrong. And we did do this thing, except there's a mystery, and I don't know if you couldn't figure it out too. We still don't know 10.
Who is 10?
10 is
Do you
10
know
is
who 10 is?
Who is that? I don't know. We don't know.
Nobody knows what 10 is.
But
I got no clue.
the idea of this whole picture and everything is each individual apparently does have degrees. These guys actually have worked themselves up. You know, people always tease Steven Seagal, you know, with what he does, but he actually worked himself up in that particular martial art. Some martial arts they say don't work at all. Like, you know, you don't see capoeira. What is it? Capoeira? Am I saying
Capoeira.
Capoeira. What is it? Is that it? I don't want to follow you. Deacon. That don't sound right. You should sound like a disease. But you don't see that in MMA. You don't see no guy out there doing that. There's no blood sport. So ideally, that's all this is, man.
Which one don't you know who it is?
I have no idea. 10.
Nobody knows that.
I do not know 7 at all.
That's what's called.
Jet Li. You don't know
Jet Li.
That's Jet Li.
Jet Li kind of took over after Jackie.
Who was he playing with your boy? Did with the black guy and the white guy, the police movies.
That was Jackie Chan.
That was Jackie Chan.
No, that was Jet Li. Jet Li played in one of those where he was.
No, that was.
I ain't talking about Rush Hour. I'm talking about.
He was Lethal Weapon when he was the bad guy. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Lethal Weapon. Anyway, yeah. But you know what number 4 is?
Now we gotta pull your card.
I have no idea what number 4 is. I could not tell you.
That's your boy from Raid. Watch them joints, man. If you like karate, Raid
Redemption. And everybody watching this thing, if you ever want to see the best action movies ever, 1 and 2, and you watch them back to back because it's one continuous 4-hour movie, basically. It's awesome. In my opinion, I haven't seen nothing like it in years.
If you like close combat.
It's gun fu, kung fu, it's all of that. It's awesome.
All right.
All right, Will, thanks so much,
Great
man.
redemption, man. Yeah, thanks for putting up with the OGs, son.
Man,
thanks for
and
having
you got
me.
your picks right too. You did a good job with your picks, man.
All right.
Man, you didn't
Oh,
sell
yeah.
it tonight, Al. Al must be tired. He didn't sell it
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
He's got a couple of people to pick.
Yeah, he's the only one leaving on. All right, sir. Hey, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So that was Mr. Will Upton. He has a YouTube channel. A good little following because he does all football, every team. And he does a lot of speculation as far as who's going where right now anyway. He does stuff on season 2 that's pretty good. So
That's a real love for football, man.
Yeah.
You could talk about a whole other team. And those individuals I do, you know, it's hard for us guys.
We can't remember our players.
Not only that, so the fact that you know who's on other squads, where they come from, this and that always amazes me, man. And I love football, but that's amazing. So give them a shout, get on there, subscribe, like subscribe to this channel.
Absolutely. All right, fellas, let's get out of here. It's getting late and we are finished. Let's move on. Next week is the Underwear Olympics. The combine will be coming on. Everybody take a look at that, and we want to know what everybody thinks, man. So our next show, we want to get some comments as to who you think performed, who you think raised their stature in the draft. And hey, man, that's it. We'll see y'all later. All right.
Sunday night, the Bravo. Saturday night, the Black Hole. Valentine's Day, Washington Hotel. Valentine's Day, down in Southwest, y'all. Say what now? Say what, y'all? What you say? What you say? Swing that thing one more time for these 100 grand. Come on. Swing. Also going out to Miss Shawn and Sweet Sharita up there. Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. Say what? Swing. Swing it, baby. Swing. Get your groove on, Chrissy. Brian Miller, say what? Swing. 58 crew. My man Mitch and Bones. Lance and Kevin in the crew. Say what? Swing. We got the Lincoln Heights. Down there.